Hey guys, welcome to another video for our Hack the Day series. This is another excited video because in this video we are going to learn and of course we are going to create a fully functional reverse shell. We will be creating two scripts, one that would be run on the victim's machine and one that would be run on the attacker's machine. And the cool feature about this script is that we can remotely execute the commands, all the commands we want on our victim machine without touching the victim machine, of course. So this is the second part of this reverse shell video for our Hack the Day series, and if you have not watched the first part, then the link would be in the description and also that video would be here. So this reverse shell would work like the metasploit meterpreter, and we will be doing a lot more things today. So without any further delay, let's get started. Okay guys, you can see that this is my Kali Linux machine, of course a virtual machine, and here I had opened the VS Code here and I would be using this to create these scripts. So I'm going to create a new folder here and let's say meterpreter shell code like that, and let's create a file here like client.py, okay, and another file like attacker.py. Perfect. So we got these files here, client.py and the attacker.py. So first thing first, we are going to copy the code from this victim machine. And one more thing, I'm just renaming this client to victim.py like that. I'm just copying the code from our previous video to this file. So I'm just putting here some values like 444 because we don't want to waste our time by inputting all the IP numbers and port numbers repeatedly again and again. So I am using here, let's see what is the IP address of our this Kali machine. So let me enlarge it, if config, and we got this IP address here. We are here and let's paste it here. So this is our IP address of the Kali machine. Perfect. And let's delete this one also, and our port number is 444 and our host address is 0.0.0 like that. Perfect. Okay, I am just going to delete this part here and I'm also deleting this one. Perfect. So now we are ready to create our these scripts here. So I would be using here while true and wait for a while. I am going to explain you why I'm using this one. We will be taking lot of inputs from the user repeatedly, and some of them would be commands that would be executed here in this victim.py file, but some of them would be used to ask the user, hey, you want to continue or not? And if the user enters something like Q or exit, stuff like that, then we will stop this attackers.py file. So what we are going to do, we will use here, like I can use here command is equals to input, and also uh, we can print here enter H for help and Q for Q for exit. Perfect. So let's save it. And one more thing, if we will use here command dot is equals to Q, then we will break, but if not, then we will continue. We will use here a logic that would send this command entered by the user to our this victim machine. So for that, what we will be doing, if this is not the case here, then we will come here and we will use got connection, and of course it's a tuple. We will use 0 here dot send, and we will pass it here this command dot encode. Perfect. So all these things are done here. So now we have to edit this file. While true again, and our command, and we can use here receive command, and we can use here sort object dot receive, and of course we have to pass it something like the buffer size. By the way, I'm using here 1024, and of course we will use the code here. And what we will be doing, we will test this program here. So what we are going to what is coming from our server. So let's use here print, and let's use here receive this command from attacker. Perfect. And let's use here receive command. Okay, good. If that's the case, we will use here, if user enter q, we will use here print exiting program. Okay, perfect. And yeah, it's all the things are good. So let's copy all these things, go back to this one, let's clear it out. So let's create nano attacker.py, and let's do it like that. Yes, perfect. So let's clear it and run this file. Python3 attacker.py. Okay, now it's time to run this file. We got a connection, and enter h for help. And if I enter, okay, it's asking us repeatedly if I enter something. No, it's working fine. But if I enter q here, exiting the program, so that means each and everything is working fine. And you can see that it is printing in a while loop receive this command from attacker. But let's stop it. Okay, one more thing, if received command is equals to q, then break, and before breaking you just have to print another thing, attacker stop the program. Okay, fine. So let's go to this one here, let's run it again, let's run this one again. Okay, let's go back to this one, let's enter h. Okay, let's go back there again, and you can see that the command is h. Okay, so let me enter random numbers. Okay, no problem. But if I enter q and then exiting program, but we got problem here that it is in a while loop, it is not stopping here. So let me stop it here. I'm just cutting this one from here and using an else here and print it here, save it. Let's try to run it one more time, but this time I would be entering q here, and let's see. Okay, no problem. It has no effect on this one. So let's close it. I would import here time, and I would like to see what is the output or this receive command we are getting. So let's use here one more thing. I am just going to comment it out, and I would use here print, and we will use here recv for the received, and let's use here dot received one, and we will stop the execution after this running. So I am using pretty big number like that, and let's go to Kali machine, run it again, run it again. Okay, and I am pressing here q. Okay, you can see that it is entering an empty thing, empty string here. So let's close it. This script is working fine. Let's go to this one and let's try to debug this code, and we got the problem here. Of course we have to send this got connection, and I am cutting it from here and pasting it here like that, and right now I am using here pass only. So let's save it and let's copy it By the way, I'm tired of using this uh, saving, copying and pasting in this nano, so I would be using here code, Visual Studio Code. So I'm creating a new file here, and let's say it as attacker.py, and let's paste the code here, and perfect. So let's go to our terminal, clear it out and run this one again, run this file also, and let's print here q exit. And we also see here q is at we got here q right now, so I think this one should have to work. So I am uncommenting it, and we are removing this one, and I'm also removing this one. We don't need the time module here, so let's delete this one also. So save it, run this file again and run it again. There should be a connection here. I am entering q here, exit program, and also the attacker stopped the program. Perfect. So now our things are working perfect. If someone enters h, that means help for getting what he can do. So I'm using else if command is equals to h, we have to use elif, not else if. So we will give that person the available amount of commands. So I'm using here print. Oh, I'm again copying it, go to Visual Studio Code, save it like that, and perfect. So let's clear it out and run it again, and run this one again. Perfect. And let's enter h here, and you can see that it is giving us some options that we can use. Perfect. So now what we need to do, we can do one thing, like if I press here ls, nothing is happening. So we have to go here in the victims.py file, and we have to check it that elif if the received command is equals to ls. So we will call a function here instead of telling the person that we got this. Fine. So I'm going to use here import os, and I would be creating a function here ls by the name of ls. And let's go to this one, and what we will be doing, we will just use here, we will just return os dot list dir. Perfect. And we can see here that of course we can now send the outputs of this function, and but first we have to call it. So let me call it result is equals to ls. Perfect. And after this one I would use here like sock object dot send, and here would be result dot in code. Perfect. So let's go to this, let's stop it, and let's go to this one. Here we also have to do some little bit adjustments. Here we have to use that elif if the command is equals to ls. So if this is the case, then it should have to accept the result we are sending from our client. So we can use here result is equals to we can use here sock object dot recv for the receive, and of course that will be 1024 dot decode. Perfect. And let's print this result. Perfect. Let's save it, let's run it again, and let's save it also and run it again. Okay, let's enter h for help, and let's use ls, and we got an error here, transport endpoint is not connected. Okay, Oh my god, we have to use here got connection 0 dot receive 1024 dot decode, and we have to stop this. Yeah, it stopped there. And we are also getting an error here. A byte like object is required, not list. Perfect. We got another error here. Okay, this would give us the list. We can convert it to a string. So we can do it like str to convert it into a string. Let's save it. Let's clear it and run it. Let's try to run it again. So I'm using here ls, and we didn't see anything, but we got a lot of objects here. A lot of errors, sorry. A bytes like object is required, not string. Another error. Okay, we have another error. We have to use it in code function within this send. So that was the error. I'm removing this str, and let's save it and run it. Let's close it, clear it, run it again, run this one again, and ls, and we got another error here. So I think we just have to use string str, and I'm pretty confident that this time it would work. I'm running it again, run this time, and ls, and we got the files here. We have in this directory these files. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to this one, and we can see that it's nothing here because we have not programmed anything right now that can show that this was executed. But you can see that here we are getting all these things here. So let's use h here, and we can see that we have to use cd, or we can first use this pwd to print the directory. So I'm closing this one, and let's see if it is closed or not. It's closed. Attacker stop the program. So let's close it, and I'm closing this one from here. Let's go to this Visual Studio Code, and again an elif here. Elif, the command is equals to pwd. Then what we have to do, if that's the case, then we can go to our this file victim.py, and let's use here elif command. Sorry, it's here received. Received command is equals to pwd. Then you should have to call another function, and that function is def pwd. Def pwd. And what this would do, it would just return os dot get cwd, the current working directory, and let's save it, and we have to go here, and we have to call this function, and I'm again using here result is equals to str to convert it into a string, and let's use here pwd, call it, and sock object.send result.encode. Perfect. Save it, and of course we have to repeat all these things, and like that. And let's try to run this one, clear it and run it again, and let's do pwd. And yes, we got here the full directory from where this file is executed. So let's go back to this one here. Nothing happened here, it is still waiting. So I can also use here ls, and all these things are the same, and we can verify this one by going to this. There are all these files here, and we can also see that there is a meterpreter shellcode folder, and this login data and all these files. We have to do one more thing. We got this ls here, this pwd, and we need to work on this cd, the change directory. So let's use here elif if the command is equals to cd. For this we need two things, this command here cd and the path to which this person wants to move. So let's save it like that. And if this is the case, we will also print that command format is cd and path. Perfect. So we don't have to execute this all the time. We can use print this the first time this is running, and of course we can add one more thing here, and that is print clear to clear screen. And let's we don't need this one, we just have to import the OS here for this purpose. And let's go back to this one here, and we have to use os dot system because this system was inside this OS library. So we will use here clear to clear. Actually this system is used to execute some system commands. So let's save it like that. And of course we should have to focus on this cd. So I'm back here at this victim.py, and we have to add two things here. Elif the receive command is equals to clear, then pass, do nothing. And elif if the received command is equals to cd. Here we have a problem that we don't know what would be the command that the user enter. For example, user can enter cd space c colon double slashes, or the user can enter d colon double slashes, or anything like that. So we are not sure that what would be the thing the user entered. So we can use one more thing, that if this command dot starts with, and we can use here cd, then what we will be doing, we have to pass here this colon. And okay, so we have to do one more thing. We have to create a function to this cd command here, and this function that I'm going to create here, let's use def cd, and it will require an argument that is path. And what this should have to do, it should have to get the path from this command here. So wait for a while. What we will be doing, I would just use I will just create a variable here that container is equals to path dot split and this. Okay, so after this one I would use os dot, there is something like chdir, and it is used to change directory. So I would use here container, and I would use here to one, and just wait for a while. I will tell you what is the thing, what is happening right now. So we can also try to return it. I don't know what would be the output of this function, but let's see here. I am here, and we can use here again result is equals to str, and we can do call the function cd. And of course here we will pass this received command, and we will just use soak object dot send result dot encode. Perfect, save it. Let's go back to this kali machine, and of course let's copy this one and print it here like that. Save it. Let's try to run it. Run this one, and let's cd but first we have to use pwd. Okay, we got this location here. Let's cd, and I'm using here c, and okay, we got nothing here. And let's use pwd, and we got none here. Oh my god, what is the problem? So let's go back here, and we can we are not getting anything here. But let's try to run it pwd again, and then we can see that it had not changed its directory. But here is a typo that it should have to change the directory. So let's use here clear clear. Oh wow, it's working fine. H here to show the help, and let's ls here. I had used ls here, sorry, ls, and you can see that it is working right now, working fine right now. But when I run this, it was giving me the result of pwd. So if I use here pwd, it's again giving me the ls. So pwd, if I do that, so it's working fine. So if I do ls, it's again giving me the results of the pwd. So it's like something, the this is showing us uh, the previous results. So let's stop this one, and we have to debug this when this cd function is called, or this os.chdate that is used to change the directory. It is giving me none because it returns nothing. So that's the reason we were getting none here. And let's see this one here, because we were passing some commands here, like let me go back to kali machine, and we can see that here we where is that cd command here, this command here. If we give a cd and then space a path, then of course there would be a separator between them. So it looks like, let me put a comment here, it would like cd space and path of anything. So you can see that this separator, we use here split function, that would just split this thing apart and this thing apart. So we need this path here. So because chdate would require a path to change its directory, so it's like that. Okay, fine. So one more thing, instead of changing this directory, we can do one more thing. We can use here path is equals to os dot get cwd current working directory, and let's try to print it. Path is, and let's use here paths, and also after this one we can use os.open to open a specific path or folder. So we can use here like this container, container, and let's save it and go back to this one. We don't need to send something, or we can send something. Yes, let's try to send this path here, the current working path. So let's cut it from here, cut it, and we will cut it also and paste it below this one after opening that directory. And let's do one more thing, we will return these paths. Perfect. So let's try to run it one more time. Okay, I would be using cd, but let's pwd. Okay, and let's go to cd, and we want to go back to this, and let's pwd. We got nothing. Why? Okay, we got a problem here. cd receive os.open container. We got a problem here. Let's go to this one, open. It requires a path, flags. I'm deleting this one. I'm deleting this one. So let's try to run it. I'm using here q to stop it. Clear it, run it again, run it again, and let's use here pwd. Let's cd to c, and let's pwd, and now we have successfully changed our directory. Perfect. You can see that this script is working fine. And let's use ls, and let's use again ls, and we got all the things here, all the files here. I know that there are some debugging problems here, like I used ls here and it executed the previous pwd command. So if I use here pwd, it would give me ls. So let's use pwd. Let me clear it out, and that is working fine. So let me use h for help, and we want to go into, let's use pwd, sorry, let's use ls, so that we can know what is there. So what I would be doing, I want to change my directory to let's say this XAMPP, XAMPP, and let's do pwd. Okay, let's do it again, pwd, and you can see that now our directory has been changed. Perfect. So this contains a debug right now, that you have seen a lot of times, that whenever I execute a command, it will execute that, but also execute the previous commands, or show me some previous results. So you can see that I executed ls here, and it showed me the results perfectly. But when I executed this here, the first time it showed me the results of the previous command. So let's use a ls and ls again. So you can see that there are a lot of files there. Oh my god, this script is really awesome. So let me clear it again, and what we want to do. Okay, let's use h, so that we can get a lot of things. We can get an idea that what we can do. Cd ls pwd bash. Let's use this bash. If I use here bash, okay, nothing happened because we have not programmed it right now. So let's close this one, and you can see that our program have been closed. So let's clear it out, and let's go back to Visual Studio Code, and elif command is equals to bash. Then you have to do a specific thing, save it. So this is little bit tricky here. So first use elif and received commands dot no, we will use here like that, bash. Then you have to call a function here, and let's use here def bash. Okay, to execute all these things, we will need another module by the name of sub process. And let's jump back to here, and what we need to do, let's use another variable here, like result is equals to subprocess sub process dot check output, and we have to pass it the command we want to execute. So we also want here that cmd. I'm using here cmd for the command, and let's pass that here. We need one more things, like I'm using here std er and sub process dot std out. Okay, and after that, one more thing, the most important thing is shell is equals to true. So let's return this result, or we can do one more thing, like we can return it here, return like that, and let's close this, remove this one. So save it. Let's jump back here. Okay, if I am inside this one, I would be doing one more thing. I would print here. First, I'm again using here the import. No, it's not import, it's already imported. So I will use here os dot system dot cls to clear the input, and to clear the screen. And after this one, uh, let me go back to this Kali machine. I also want that whenever this happens, you just have to use this os.system.clear first, paste it here like that, and let's jump back here. So we can use a while true, and after this one, let's modify this print statement. So let's use here welcome to programium bash execution. We don't want that anything would be printed in the victim's machine. We can use here message is equals to and store it in a message, and let's send it back. So I'm just copying it and pasting it here and replacing this message with this result with message. Perfect. So after this one we got another thing. Let's jump back to Kali machine here. We will get the result. Let's see here, result is equals to, and let's copy all these things, paste it here. Okay, this is a very long video, but yes, it's a very interesting video. And also I'm a little bit tired here, but whenever my program execution succeeds, my tiredness would convert it to joy. So let's print this here and print result. Let's use here one more thing. I'm using here while true. Perfect. And here I would like to take again the inputs. So I'm using here the execution is equals to input, and for bash commands I'm using something like this. We will send it back to our connection. So let's use here got connection. So let's use 0.send, and here we will use execution. Okay, save it, and of course now we will get it back here. So I'm using here RCEVED, RC, like that. I'm copying this one and pasting it here, and here we will pass that the command to our function, bash function. Let's do one more thing. Let's create a variable like output is equals to bash, but let's convert it into string bash, and here we will pass recvd, and again we need to send it sock object dot send output. Perfect. So again the same procedure, we after sending that one we have to receive the result and print that. So let's do it like that. Okay, let's try to run it. We can use here, let's see bash, and welcome to programium bash execution. So let's see dir, and we got an error here. Okay, not string object. So let's go back to here. We got error here, a bytes like object is required, not string, on line number 63. On line number 63, but I had converted that thing to a string. Okay, sorry, we have to encode it, and let's save it. We got here, let's use bash, and let's use dir, and we got another error, a byte like object is required, not string, and connection aborted, line number 63 shell code, and we got another error here. An established connection was supported by the software in your host machine. There is an also error at line number 46 in this file. So let's see where is the line number 46. Oh, I found the error. We also have to encode this one in code. So let's clear it out, run it again. Let's clear it out and run it again. Let's use here bash. Okay, let's use here dir, and wow, perfect, it is giving me the result of this bash command. So let's run it again, and let's use here bash, and there are a lot of things, like if we use here ipconfig, it had given me the commands, the information related to my networking here in my Windows. And if I use here cls, sorry, it is giving me all these things uh, again we have to fix this one. Okay, I'm running this one again. Run this one again. We need to do the bash script here. Okay, we are in the bash script mk, but let's see what is there. So for that I think we use pwd. No, and when we execute a command that doesn't exist, there comes an error, subprocess.call process error. And let's try to do one more thing here. We will not be executing all this thing directly. We will use here try it, and if you get the error, you should use here exception as e. Then what you have to do, you have to return no command found. Perfect. So let's try to first let's stop it, clear it, run it again, clear it, run it again. Let's use bash here, and let's use here cwd, and there is a no command. Fine, it is working fine. And let's go back to this one, and you can see that nothing, this program is not crashing right now. So I'm using here dir, and oh, that's the problem. You don't have to show me this. Welcome to programming bash execution. Let's use dir, and fine, it's working. If I go to cd, you can see that directories are here, c users. So let's shift our cursor to this one, and let's try to run it again, cd and c. Okay, we are not here changing our directory. Okay, so let's try to do it again, cd c. Okay, cd c. I think it's changed now. Let's see it. No, it's not changed. Okay guys, by the way, I'm really tired of right now, and I think we should have to stop this video right now, and we will be working on this project in another video in which we will try to debug all these things. But let's stop it here, and I am very happy that all these things that we had program right now, these three things are working absolutely fine. So you can see that it is the result of the pwd. If I ls here, it is giving me all the files without any problem. If I change my directory like that, it is working fine. You can see that it's working fine. So if I ls there, and you can see that all the files there, I can again change my directory like we can use here recovery, and let's pwd. So pwd again, and we got the directory here. Let's use ls, and we got that there is nothing in that file. We can also jump back here. Let's pwd, and we can see that our file had directory had been changed. Let's clear it out, and again help, and again cd, but let's do pwd. Okay, so ls, sorry, so that I can go into something. We can go to cd pref logs, and let's pwd, and we got error here because this is working from a long time, and we have to debug this all these files. So I hope so that you guys really like this video, and let me know if you like this video, and we will be coming another video in which we will be modifying this reverse shell or meterpreter. So enough for this video guys. Stay tuned for our next video, and goodbye.